So, what does resilience look like? We have this assumption, I think, that resilience is somebody that's powering through the worst of times without it affecting them in any way, shape, or form. Resilience of that kind is like watching a sprinter run a marathon. Yeah, they're a sprinter. Yeah, they can run, but they can't sprint an entire marathon. If they did, they just can't. So, what does that look like for a person with mental illness and resilience? It's understanding that resilience is not powering through. Resilience can be as much as just hanging in there, staying another day, not giving up. Hey, you might still be in bed, you might still be on the floor, but you're still moving forward. You haven't quit. I want to talk about that today on Mark My Words. Forgot who I was for a moment. Welcome to Mark My Words. Mark My Words is the story of my journey from a place where I was shattered to where I could live again. So, resilience. We kind of have this mixed perception of resilience. We kind of assume that resilience is, the person that's stoic in the face of all danger and they don't mind and they don't care that they get hit. They stand back up and they stand on their own 2 feet and, they just keep powering on. Well, that's not resilience. That's training. Resilience is being hit and then getting back up. Resilience is making the decision over and over and over again that you aren't going to give up. That's what resilience is. I was talking to a couple of kids the other day at a school, and they were talking about how they would listen to a little part of my story, and they said, look, you say that you have a full life through your mental illness, but you still have to take pills every day. You still have to do the work. Does that mean that you're still, well, they said mentally ill? And I said, well, yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't mean that that's the end of my story. I'm still running the race. Their thought was that if I'm falling down, if I'm struggling, if I'm needing to take medication, I haven't succeeded. I haven't, and this is for the people that aren't on video, air quotes, kept running. This idea that to be resilient means that you must be impervious to harm, that things don't affect you is a fallacy. And it's something that you have to look at in your mental health journey. It's something that you have to assess for yourself. It's something that you have to be aware of, because when you have a mental illness, every time you fall down, your mind goes to, well, you failed again. You missed the mark. You're not, air quotes, better. You are still broken. Well, the fact of the matter is that, yes, I am still broken. I am not the me that I was before I got hurt. I'm a different person. And this is where hope came in. I kept thinking that there was no hope because I kept falling down. I kept slipping back into my symptoms. I'd be depressed. My hands would shake. I wouldn't be able to have a conversation. I wouldn't be able to attend an appointment. And I would instantly go, well, once again, you failed. Well, no, I hadn't. And I had to give myself permission to not fail, but to fall down. Failure is not getting back up. Failure is stopping. There was an interesting thing that came up on my socials the other day, and it was this quote from Robin Williams about mental health. Now, no judgment on that man. I don't know what his pain was. I don't know what he was going through in the end. I can't comment on that, and I won't. But I will not listen to mental health encouragement from that dude because he quit, which for me is the one unforgivable sin. You can have mental illness. You can struggle every single day. But as soon as you quit, you've lost. It seems like such a weird thing to talk about with suicide, but it's one of these things that we don't talk about. This idea that, you know, the guy might have some good things to say, but I don't want to hear it from him. I would rather talk to the person that's just come out of the psych ward and is trying to go back to work. I'd much rather talk to the person that's living with bipolar disorder, but still shows up to do day to day stuff. That's the person I want to hear from. That's the resilient person that I want to know. There can be a difficulty when you are listening to mental health speakers, in that some of them well, I can be a bit judgmental. I'm sort of like, I know what mental illness is, and generally I can see it in somebody else's eyes. If I look in your eyes and I can see my own pain reflected back to me, you're my best friend for life. I have no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm just, we have a connection. I want to, be a support to you if I want, but I also hope that you would be a support to me when I need it. I want to be around resilient people, not people that live a fake life, not people that go through something small and pretend it's a lot more than it was. Because those of us that have been through the absolute lows, the horrible lows, understand that mental illness resilience is not being able to stand on the mountaintop and say, I made it. Resilience is the guy that's might be 3 steps into the mountaintop walk and he's like, I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. Don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try. That's what resilience is. Resilience isn't this thing of success that society makes it out to be, that Instagram makes it out to be. Hey, I'm being resilient because I'm on a beach in a tropical island. Well, it's real easy to be resilient when you're on a tropical beach in a island, because you have the means and wherewithal to actually get there. Um, and I mean, hey, if those people are struggling, you know, if I if I'm prejudging some people, I apologize. I don't want to do that. But I just need you to know what resilience is. Resilience is not being the person that says, I made it. Resilience is being the person that goes, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm going to keep trying. That's what resilience is. Resilience is not a destination. Resilience is a journey. And resilience is a decision that you make often, sometimes many times in one day. You will need to be resilient over and over and over again. A couple of weeks ago, something happened. There was a miscommunication and it went really, really badly for me. I did not deal with her well. It was my fault. The incident that happened, I don't want to make any bones about that. But when the incident happened, I lost it. All of my symptoms came back. The silver flashing in the corner of my eye, which I believe is the knife from my knife attack. The shaking, the stuttering, being unable to talk, the anger. And then I had to go do a radio show. And then after that, I had to go speak at a university. Now, at the time, I didn't see what I was doing was an achievement, because I'd already failed that day. But less than 45 minutes after this intense mental health breakdown, I was able to do a radio show. Yeah, it was not the best radio show I've ever done, but I did it. And then I did the talk at the university a couple of hours later. That is what resilience is. And I don't share that for you to go, oh, Mark, look what you were able to do, because the failure of that morning still hangs over that entire memory. But I just have to keep saying to myself, mate, this is resilience. You are more resilient than you would have been able to be even 2-3 years ago. Resilience is a decision. Resilience is a journey. And I really hope that I can continue to share yours. I'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe. I hate saying that. I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to Mark My Words. I'd like to thank my producer, Meredith Brosnan, and also Torian, Kevin, and Lorraine. And I can't forget the band Adelaide, who allows us to use their song as our theme.